Assalamualaikum everyone. My name is Mahin Maktiwali from Internal School Online Academy in Foundation Level 1 Batch 9. Today I am going to review going to review uh, Today I am going to share my review of an interesting TEDx talk called The First 20 Hours How to Learn Anything by Josh Kaufman. This talk explains how we can learn a new skill without feeling our helmet, and why the first few hours of learning are often the most difficult. George starts by talking about how his life changed after becoming a father. He had many responsibilities and much less free time, so he started thinking about how people can continue learning new things even when they are busy. This led him to explore the process of learning and ask him important questions. How long does it actually take to learn a new skill? Many, many of us have heard about the 1,000 hour rule, which suggests that reaching a very high level of expertise. It can require thousands of hours of practice. But Josh explains this that this idea is often misunderstood. His focus is not on becoming an expert. Instead, he asks how long it takes to go from knowing absolutely nothing about a skill to become reasonably good at it. His answer is that is George explains that if we can get through those first 20 odd, we can overcome much of that frustration and make progress. George gives us a single four step method for learning a new skill. The first step is to deconstruct the skill. This means breaking a large skill into smaller parts. That instead of thinking, I want to learn English, for example, we can break it down into speaking, vocabulary, pronunciation, listening, and everyday conversation. Then we can decide which parts are most important and practice. The second step is to learn enough to correct yourself. We should use books, videos, courses, or other useful resources to understand the basics and recognize our mistakes. However, just to make an important point, we should not spend all our time in consuming information. Sometimes we keep watching tutorials and reading about a skill because it feels like learning, but we are actually avoiding practice. We need to balance learning with doing. The third step is to remove barriers to practice. These are many distractions around us, such as our phone, social media, television, or unnecessary notification. If we want to learn something, we need to make practice easy and accessible. And when we remove distractions and create a specific time aim for practice, it becomes much easier to stay consistent. And the fourth step is to practice for at least 20 hours. Uh, this does not mean becoming an expert in 20 hours. It means committing yourself to enough focused practice to get at the difficult beginner stage. Josh explains that at 20 hours can actually be manageable. For example, if we practice for around 45 minutes every day, we can reach 20 hours in roughly a month. Josh also gives a practical example for his own experience. He decided to learn how to play the ukulele. Instead of trying to learn every possible technique, he focused on the most useful chords and songs by breaking the skill down and practicing inconsistently. He was able to make a noticeable progress. This example shows that the method not just an idea, it can actually be applied to a real skill. To conclude my review, I would say that this talk changed the way I think about learning. It reminded me that being a beginner is completely normal and that progress starts when we are willing to make mistakes and keep practicing. We don't have to know everything today. We just have to take the first step and keep going. So if there is something you have always wanted to learn, don't wait for the perfect time. Start with your first or continue until you reach 20 hours and see how much you can improve. Thank you for watching my review. Allah Hafiz.